Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover as we recently got to hear from comedian Josh Johnson, who was asked a couple of questions about hip-hop in a recent interview, seeing as we got rappers venturing into the comedy space like T.I., and he was also asked about his top 5, including the rappers who he believes could do stand-up comedy. And we also got some Eminem bars that look to have aged like wine that resurfaced on social media after the RIAA revealed that NBA YoungBoy was the most certified hip-hop artist of all time, based on the number of certifications at 126. And we also got an update on Corrupt Health. And we also got to hear from Joe Budden on if J. Cole was throwing jabs at Hove on track 2 disc 2. And we also got what looks to be years of allegedly lying finally catching up to the game, as we are at a point where Game could say he's from Compton and people would be questioning if he's lying again.
I don't want to be a part of hip-hop no more, because it just ain't right, man. And hip-hop, it just didn't used to be like this.
And after the RIAA revealed that YB is now the most certified hip-hop artist in RIAA history, not to be confused with best-selling, since this is based on certified titles at 126, apart from hip-hop media personalities stirring the pot with takes like, interesting, with this many certifications, why isn't his catalog recognizable outside his fan base? Serious question.
You know what you're doing.
Hey, bro, come on now, dawg.
And while some have answered because he built a big core fan base, all while choosing not to play by the industry rules that will stream the music, whether or not it gets pushed by the industry to the general public, it is that simple. And I knew it was only a matter of time for this to come up in reaction to the news from the RIAA, as this blew up on X. Eminem with one of the best and realest bars in 2018. So you sold 10 million albums, eh? Only problem is you put out 10 million albums, eh?
Hey, bro, come on now, dawg.
A bit harsh to use on NBA YoungBoy, but truth be told, as far as I know, YB has put out roughly 40 projects and counting.
Jesus is Lord! You know you can be prosecuted for that!
And this includes studio albums, mixtapes, collaboration, and compilation albums. And YB fans aren't having this. There are rappers who release 3 albums a year, and they are called consistent. But when YB does the same, they call it overdropping. But I'd say 2 points can be true at once. But what are your thoughts? Do you agree that his catalog is not recognizable outside his fan base? And what is your favorite NBA YoungBoy song? Let us know in the comment section.
I was not trolling.
And the conversation on if J. Cole threw a jab at Hove by referring to him as a so-called rap king continues. And we got to hear from Joe Budden.
Yeah, I'm rolling. So you didn't have to so-call.
You didn't have to.
You ain't have to so-call.
And wait, before we do this, let me let y'all know that for me, in my head, top of the conspiracy list is I wish I knew what was going on between J. Cole and Jay-Z. I've been saying that forever. Yeah. These are 2 brothers that are holding it down in terms of whatever happened.
Yeah, solid is solid.
It could be nothing happened, but boy, are they holding it down. And boy, do I wish they would stop.
But that's the dope. But that's the dope shit. Let's say nothing happened. You wouldn't know. And that's how it's supposed to be.
I don't know if anything happened. It might just be every rapper starts off wanting to be signed to someone, and then once they start getting a lot of money and accolades and all that shit, they no longer want to be there. The guy that signed the dude don't want to let you go because you're making me a lot of fucking money. I don't think it's really that deep. I don't think it's probably venom, but they probably had a butting of heads at some level. I wouldn't be surprised if they did anyway.
I agree with that part, but I also look at like just the lack of them doing shit together. I think that could play into it. If I'm Cole, I'm signed to you, I'm your understudy, I'm XYZ, and come on, nothing really.
They did when he was still signed to him, but they haven't since he hasn't been signed to him. So at that point,
very minimal.
You talking about back in the day?
Yes.
Oh.
He's saying that they never did know.
No, I didn't say never. I did not say. I said minimal shit.
Now, let's say Westside Boogie dropped a song rapping about his career in reverse, and he got to the part of getting signed by Shady and said, so-called rap god, how would that sound? Would you view that as a jab? And long story short, we got more from Joe Budden that shows he believes there's more to that, quote, so-called rap king on track 2 disc 2.
I'm not saying that those earlier
I'm just saying
features
it could all
weren't
tie.
minimal. They
It
were
could all
very
tie.
important in whatever plan that they had going.
Correct. And they worked.
I just feel like if you saw the backstage shit or whatever doc that was where Hov was like the boy eating the cereal. Like if your story starts from there and then you find this dope ass kid from North Carolina, y'all break all types of boundaries, y'all sell all of these, y'all do it. Even if mutually beneficial is what I'm saying for both to both of them.
Yeah.
Whenever it ends, that's what I be saying, yo. When any business relationship ends, if it was mutually beneficial and we all happy,
There should be no bad blood.
let's go our separate ways. But yo, let me buy you a drink when I see you in the club.
Absolutely.
Let me put an ad lib on something. Send me a record. Let me hear it. Like
You know it don't
seem
really
closer to Pusha T.
But bigger
and
than that,
I guess I'm just disappointed. That's all.
Yeah.
But bigger than that, they both are so quiet and mysterious that could be happening, and we would still
never
be
know.
none the wiser.
That's true.
He might have sent this nigga the whole album like, "Yo, I honor your opinion. Let me know what you think." We would never know.
Until they hit a booth. Well, not Cole. Cole be holding it down. Jay-Z, if this is something, this will not be the last time we've heard about so-called. It's gonna be like when he did that, what was that, Birdman or somebody said some shit?
Oh,
then
Baby
his
Money.
house, and then he started talking about the art in the house and you got repoed and nobody knew nothing. It's like, it's gonna, maybe I'm doing some fan obsessive shit right now. There's no point in J. Cole's rap life that Hov was so-called.
And while some believe everybody don't want a relationship like Eminem and 50, you would never hear those two talking negatively about each other. And I'd say we got a new one. Cause Hov always chose Dot over Cole, and it bothered Cole. Now that's a new one, but what are your thoughts? And a few days ago, Daz Dillinger urged fans to send their thoughts and prayers to Corrupt, and we got a report that Corrupt is doing better right now. And even the DOC reacted on X. This dude has always had a way with them freaking words. And the game's reputation of allegedly lying at every chance he gets isn't doing him any favors whenever clips from recent interviews hit social media.
I was prepared to die in that beef, and I for sure, like, I'm just
Yeah.
friends, man.
Yep,
We don't
yep.
gotta cut no corners when we talking. I was almost 100% sure that me and 50 was gonna die in that. I for sure thought it. I just knew it. I thought it, and we already seen it happen. And I was the biggest rapper on the West, and he was the biggest rapper on the East, literally at that point. And we were both young in our 20s, and I just thought that we wouldn't make it out of that. The thing about it is I didn't give a fuck because I hated that so much for trying to play me. And again, Biggie and Pac died. This shit is real. I'm in it. It's real. I know 50. He ain't playing. He's for real. So I was ready to go all. I was ready to literally go all the way out. I went to this man's house, ripped the basketball rim off, peed in his grass, went to Queens, put up a G-Knot banner on the side of a project building. Like, I was serious, man. The people think because of the Hot 97 shootout that like that's the one that made the headlines. But there was more shootouts than that on both coasts. It just so happened that we made it out of that with, without being hit. But people got shot and people died in that beef. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we're here now. And so, yeah, we can talk about, Game and 50, Game and 50 made it out, but people like died.
Yeah.
Like, people died in that beef. So it was that serious. And I thought it would be me and him. Me or him.
And this was met with reactions like, truly fitting that Game is actually wearing a cap in this video, being that he's on the Mount Rushmore of rap capping.
Hey, bro, come on now, dawg.
Years of his antics finally catching up to him. This guy and his fairy tales again. Don't get me wrong, he's a hell of a rapper, but any chance he gets, he always gasses himself up. Just look at the Vlad TV interviews on YouTube. He was recalling stories like he was on Scooby-Doo talking about all the heinous crimes he did. And yes, some users are calling him out for oversharing and possibly snitching on himself in that interview, and some believe he's desperately trying to make himself the main character in these stories. Man, there was never really a 50 Cent versus Game beef. I really think real beef was 50 Cent versus Jimmy Henchman, and Game being so close and managed by Jimmy, you know how 50 get. He comes at everybody, so 50 and Game beef was just secondary to the big beef between 50 and Jimmy. That's the beef where people really died. And when it comes to 50 Cent and Eminem, according to comedian Josh Johnson, he believes that they have potential in comedy.
T.I. do his thing as a stand-up. Are there any rappers that you think would make good comics?
I think Eminem for timing.
Not good time.
And I also think like 50 Cent for like content. Like just the way he roasts is like it's coming from a place that is so deeply funny that even sometimes I'll like he's one of the only people where if he posts something and I don't get it, in my head I'm like, I didn't get it. It's not that it's not funny, if that makes sense. And I haven't seen every single post he's ever done, but just I know when he gets in on somebody, they'll be like, wow, this is crazy. And this is what like a comic would do, you know?
Even when he's not being legit, like if he does, even if with people he likes, he's a hilarious roaster. He sat here on this very Zoom and did like 10 minutes on Busta Rhymes that had me in stitches. And they're
yeah.
He's funny like that.
And I take it Eminem has most likely heard about how he's got potential when it comes to comedy, but unlike T.I., Eminem probably doesn't believe it to the point of actually following through with it and releasing a special. Oh wow, 50 Cent, on the other hand, already has his platform of choice, the daily drops on his social media accounts. And we also got his top 5 rappers.
It gets harder and harder every year. Honestly, the more that I discover, the more that you want that Rushmore to be like the size of Congress. You know what I mean? But I think there's Kendrick, because of like how I discovered him and like the fact that he still has such longevity, like Eminem is definitely in there. And I'd say, yeah, it's like Kendrick, Eminem. Yeah, discography wise, like Ye as well. I think, yeah, Missy Elliott as well. And I'm trying to think of like one more that really ushered in like a wave for me. I think journey wise, I'm interested in everything Chance the Rapper does. Like every move, every connection that he builds, and like even the way he, you know, bounces back if he's ever like had a hurdle is something that I really respect and something that I see as like that's what like an all-time great does, you know?
And that will be all for today, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.